Help support our coverage through Amazon Prime. Get free music with Prime Music, TV, movies, and documentaries with Prime Video, and free games with Prime Gaming. For this and a whole lot more, go to PLUGHITZLive.com/prime. Because our next guest is here, and in fact, it's a pair of guests. Hi. You are muted, buddy.
Can you hear me, Scott?
Yes, but Robbie's got his... Oh, there he goes.
There we go. Is that Scott there?
It is. How are you?
Long time no see, huh?
I know, right?
Hey, hope you're doing well and safe,
Absolutely, and you as well. For those who don't know, obviously, you and I know each other well, but for those who don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
Well, first of all, hi, everyone. This is Robbie Cabral, the inventor and CEO and founder of BenjiLock. And next to me is Mr. Randy Voss. He's with Hampton Products International. And, we're the partners in bringing the BenjiLock to market.
And then a couple of them at this point. There's a number of products in the line. For those who have been following the product for a long time, we've been talking since before you had a product. And now I have 3 of them in the building right now. So
it's incredible. I remember back in 2017 in the first Eureka Park show. That's where we connected the first time, and we showcased like the first prototype and all that. And it's amazing that you've been able to see this whole journey. And such a bummer that we couldn't do CES in person this year, because we had so much fun last year. And I believe we met Kim Kelly as well, the CEO, and
a couple times.
It was a great show. But now we're on board and showcasing the new products, the products that were kind of prototyped last year, and now actually they're making it to the market.
Okay, and so what are those products?
Well, go ahead, Randy. Yeah.
So we have 3 new products that we have launched effective with the show. The first product is our Sport Lock, which is a small fingerprint only 10 fingerprint padlock that, just like the original BenjiLock, uses your fingerprint to access the product. Then we're launching our BenjiLock bicycle lock,
yes,
which also takes 10 fingerprints. You move this cover to the side here, and just like the other BenjiLock products, you open it up. And then we also have, and you have it on your table in front of you there, Scott, it's our fingerprint deadbolt. So touch the front of the deadbolt here, and where am I here? It's a little bit awkward doing this upside down, right?
Yeah.
And these towers, there we go. And then the deadbolt closes. So 3 new products on top of the portfolio, which started with the original full-size BenjiLock,
which is sitting on my desk in the office.
Okay, and then moved to the travel and luggage locks. These were the products that first came out in 2018 in the fall. And so now we have 3 additional products that are in the portfolio. So now you can lock everything from lockers to sheds, to cabinets in the garage, to desks in your office, to your bicycle, to the front door to your home.
It really is a fantastic line. And Robbie and I have talked off camera about since Eureka Park, the number of companies who have tried to snag on to the momentum that you've built with the BenjiLock brand, but oftentimes missing the point, right? And you mentioned Kim Kelly, the CEO, he mentioned during the interview last year, everybody else is kind of a tech company trying to figure out locks. But in your case, security was already the backbone of the company, and you've added technology to it, which I think is a much more natural progression.
I mean, we were a lock company 30 years ago, right?
Right.
That's what Hampton Products is. That's our lineage. And so when I met Robbie, I first met Robbie coming out of the 2017 Consumer Electronics Show. And it was a simple conversation about, you got something that's really interesting here. We're a lock company. We were looking at the space. It was not a space that to us was foreign, but we were looking for the right product, right? And there's lots of people who try to put technology onto something. They try to force fit it.
Right.
And it's what has made this particular journey much more satisfying, because we've taken an approach of saying it is first and foremost a security product. It's not a toy.
Right.
That was honestly one of the very, very first things that Robbie and I talked about in the very first meeting, where he came to our facility in California. It was, very clearly, this is to secure something of value.
Yeah.
And then from there, we were able to extend into what's our size, what's our shape. Now, in the case of the original BenjiLock, which you have on your desk, that form factor was somewhat defined, but Robbie still has, and I have it in my office in California where I'm not currently, but the original prototype of the BenjiLock versus what went to manufacturing and is now available for sale is very different in size, overall configuration.
Yeah.
And so, we have taken that idea, the very strong patent capability that Robbie built, and moved it across an entire spectrum of products, which is frankly what we always envisioned.
Yeah.
We always saw this as, everything I make has a key and a combination. So that's a lot of product, right?
Yeah.
How do we now take this technology layer and put it into the most appropriate products that takes away some pain point from the user?
Right. And I've always liked that mentality on it, that it is a security product. It is designed to secure something of value. And Robbie and I have talked several times on air, and Kim Kelly and I have talked several times on air about the reason why the padlock has a key, why this continues to have a key. Not just because technology can fail, but
why
also,
this has a key.
Right. But also because it is a security product, and I've had other companies that have tried to get into your space that obviously they don't have the Shark Tank momentum and the Hampton Products momentum behind them to keep moving necessarily. But they all try to explain to me why they don't have a key. They try to make it sound like a positive, and I've never had anybody explain it in such a way where I walk away going, okay, I get your reasoning. I always walk away going, I think you couldn't figure out how keys work.
Well, here's a really simple reason, Scott. The development of a cylinder, this thing right here. I mean, we all have a front door to our home, right? And they all take a key and they take a cylinder. It looks very, very simple, right? but it's not. It's incredibly complex, that little piece of brass and all the things that go into it. And so, in order to provide you that real level of security that you expect, there is an art to it. And it's not like just any old person can go in and say, okay, I want to start buying a bunch of cylinders.
Right.
Frankly, if I turn it over and sort of point the spotlight at us, it's one of the reasons why for us in the biometric space, right? We have fingerprint sensors on here. Well, we're not the biggest guy in the world on
Right.
incorporating fingerprint sensors into devices like this. So it's a little bit different for us as well, because we're hardware company lock guys. So we've had to do a lot of things in order to be able to make cost-effective products that perform well in the world when
Yeah.
people actually start to use them, right? And
Yeah.
so it's been a lot of fun. It's been a ton of work, and you
Hardware
know,
development is always a ton of work. And when
yeah.
you add
Well,
lock tumblers to it, it doesn't make it easier.
no. Well, and
Robbie.
Robbie, yeah. Well, Robbie would be the first to tell you. So here we are. We're sitting here, enjoying this wonderful podcast. We're using this wonderful technology. You know, uh, I shared with Robbie earlier this week. My first consumer electronics show was 1980.
Okay.
And, so there I am at Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas back then. And, it's a far cry from where it is today. Well, now I'm doing my first consumer electronics show where I'm not even in person. I'm doing it all virtually, for crying out
I
loud.
know.
Right. So this has been, from 2018 to where we are now in 2021. We did not
Big moves.
plan to have, the gyrations of 2020, just like anybody.
True.
But it allowed us to get our development work done in a very substantial way. All of these products are now available. So they're in inventory. They're available for sale today at buyhampton.com. And so, we're ready to go, and we see big things for 2021.
And I can personally attest to how easy they are to install, because this is my empty box for one that is out front right now.
Oh, yeah, and I was gonna piggyback on that, Scott. That since better that this year has brought so many things to everyone, whether it's small businesses, families, you name it. So we all going through all these ups and downs. And when everything happened, my local gym is closed, so a lot of the times I can't really use my local lock to go to the gym.
Sure.
My kids' schools are closed. There's no lockers right now. But in reality now, I see we notice a lot of people biking, a lot of people are at home. So at least now part of that new product pipeline with the bike lock, with the door lock, now we're able to at least use that momentum of what's going on right now in the world until everything hopefully gets back on track, and then basically we're rolling with the TSA for travel. And believe me, we all have that little answer of traveling. I mean, we all wish that we were in Vegas right now. And
Indeed.
but at least the beauty of CES though is that we get to connect, and it's like a
Right.
big family. And I've seen you since 2017, and the whole PLUGHITZ team and has been very supportive, and it's great to see how every year we're all still connected, and most stuff healthy.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to say, while we were building our new studio, we had to go get some parts. And so the closest place for us to go was an Ace Hardware. Obviously, you know where I'm headed with this. So we went and got some screws. And on the way back, I said, hold on. I have to go look at something. And I went down their security aisle looking, and I'm like, oh, I don't see oh, there it is. I went looking for the TSA lock, because I knew it should be there, and there it was, and I was very excited to see that. It was the first, because I don't go into retail very often, so that was my first opportunity to see it on a shelf. Well, it was on a security peg, but it was my first opportunity to see it out in the wild like that, and that was cool.
Out in the wild, I love it. Well, what questions can we answer for you, Adam? Or Scott, I'm sorry.
Scott. Oh, I was going to say, Adam is actually our next guest.
Yeah, no, I'm reading and talking at the same time. I apologize.
No worries. I think we've covered the core stuff here. I think really, if people want to find these out in the wild or online, what's the best way to find more or to pick one up?
So today we are available at BUY Hampton.com or at BenjiLock.com for the full portfolio. And there'll be more announcements coming later about retailers that we start to add into the portfolio.
Very cool. Well, I look forward to that. And Robbie, it's always great to see you, even if it's just on a screen.
Even if it's digital, it's like a big family. So I truly appreciate for, you giving us the time today. And I still owe you a hat. But, be surprised because this week we're coming with something cool. So I'm going to keep you on the loop. You'll see.
Okay. Very cool. I look forward to it.
Outstanding. Right. Thanks, Scott. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed that interview, and if you did, make sure you check out some of the more than 100 interviews we conducted during the virtual CES 2021 coverage. And of course, subscribe here on YouTube, hit the notification bell to learn when we post new content and when we go live.